Anger feels powerful. It does. In moments of conflict, it can feel like the only thing that remains. But in reality, anger weakens your position, erodes your credibility, and destabilizes the very thing you are trying to protect. Hello, and welcome to our third episode here at Reclaiming Fatherhood: Restoring Strength, Reforming Systems, Protecting the Bond. Responsibility endures beyond circumstance, where discipline meets advocacy. So, let us begin, shall we? In conversations around fatherhood, especially under conflict, anger is often normalized, sometimes even encouraged, but anger does not produce stability, and stability is what children require. In this episode, we examine why anger feels justified, why it becomes destructive, and how disciplined control, not reaction, defines responsible fatherhood. So why then does anger often feel justified? Anger is not random. It often comes from loss of control, loss of time, loss of identity, perceived unfairness. And in those moments, anger feels like strength. It feels like resistance. It feels like standing your ground. But feeling powerful and being effective are not the same thing. Let's discuss the hidden cost of anger. Anger creates consequences that are often invisible in the moment. It affects communication, decision-making, perception by others, legal positioning, emotional stability, in systems that evaluate behavior. Anger is often interpreted as instability, even when the frustration is understandable, and instability weakens credibility. Now, let's talk about how children absorb the emotional climate, which is key here. Children do not just observe conflict, they absorb it. When anger becomes the dominant tone, they internalize tension, they experience uncertainty, they lose a sense of safety. This is not about suppressing emotion. It is about recognizing that your emotional state becomes part of their environment. And children require stability, even when circumstances are unstable. Anger versus discipline. There is a difference between reaction and discipline. Reaction is immediate. Discipline is controlled. Reaction seeks release. Discipline seeks outcome. Responsible fatherhood requires measured responses, emotional regulation, strategic thinking, not because emotion is wrong, but because outcome matters more than expression. Let us reframe strength then. Strength is often misunderstood. It is not volume, aggression, dominance. Strength is control under pressure, clarity under stress, stability when circumstances shift. When a father remains composed, even in difficult conditions, he reinforces something critical. That responsibility does not disappear when things become difficult. Now, we will dive into some practical discipline. Discipline is not abstract. It is practiced in moments. Pausing before responding, choosing clarity over reaction, maintaining composure in conversation, avoiding escalation, thinking long-term instead of reacting short-term. These are not small actions. They shape outcomes. Let us summarize. Anger may feel justified, but it weakens position, perception, stability, and ultimately, it weakens the environment children depend on. Discipline is not suppression. It is control with purpose. Reclaiming fatherhood is not about reacting to pressure. It is about maintaining structure under pressure, because children do not need perfect fathers. They need stable ones. In the next discussion, we'll examine how responsibility continues even when control is limited, and what it means to lead when circumstances are no longer in your favor. Reclaiming fatherhood, restoring strength, reforming systems, protecting the bond. Responsibility endures beyond circumstance, where discipline meets advocacy. Reclaiming fatherhood advances strength in men and balance in systems, so that children do not bear the cost of adult conflict. Advancing disciplined fatherhood and balanced reform, so children do not bear the cost of adult conflict. Responsibility endures beyond circumstance. Reclaiming Fatherhood is a disciplined, reform-minded platform dedicated to restoring balance, responsibility, and stability within modern fatherhood through structured analysis, personal reflection, and policy-level insight. Reclaiming Fatherhood is a responsibility-centered platform advancing disciplined fatherhood, balanced reform in family systems, and the enduring protection of the father-child bond through principled advocacy and structured analysis. Thank you and stay safe. Till next time.